Today I'm sharing with you the one recipe that I've received the most requests for from my family and friends to put up on the blog and the channel here. And it's my recipe for the Mumbai style Vada Pav. And today I'll be sharing how to make all the elements of a Mumbai style Vada Pav. So let's get started. I always start with making the Batata Vada first, which forms the heart of a good Vada Pav. And for the Batata Vada, I usually prefer to start with making the gram flour or besan batter. For making the gram flour or besan batter, in a white bowl take 1 cup of gram flour or besan and to it add half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida powder. I usually also add about 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, but this is optional. Mix everything together and then start adding water a little at a time. I start with about half a cup of water and then usually add 2 to maximum 4 tablespoons as needed to get a smooth flowing consistency of batter. When you have a smooth batter, then just whisk it for an additional couple of minutes just to incorporate some air into the batter. This will really help with the texture of the outside batter that coats the vada pav. When done, cover the bowl with a lid and let the batter rest for about 15 to 20 minutes before you use it to coat the vadas. Next, I make the potato masala, for which here I boiled about 1.5 pounds of potatoes and then peeled and mashed them like you see here. You can either grate the boiled potatoes if you prefer, or simply mash them using a potato masher or just the back of a glass, anything works. Then to it add about 1.5 teaspoon of salt or to taste. Mix it in and set aside for now till the tadka is ready. For making the tadka, in a tadka pan add 1 tablespoon of oil and lightly heat it up. To the oil now add a teaspoon of mustard seeds and let it lightly roast for a few seconds till it starts to crackle and pop. Then add 16 curry leaves and 4 chopped green chillies and lightly roast them for a few seconds. After which add in chopped garlic from about 16 cloves and lightly roast them for 2 to 3 minutes till they start to change color. And here I want to say that while all of these ingredients are important, you can technically skip the tadka and just add them directly in the mashed potatoes. Just of course skip the oil and the mustard seeds. But I always do the tadka because it really elevates the flavor for me. Finally, add in the spice powders, preferably all together to avoid them from burning. Here I have half a teaspoon each of garam masala and coriander powder and a quarter teaspoon each of cumin, red chili and haldi or turmeric powder. Lightly roast the spices for a few seconds, ensuring to not let them burn, and then turn off the flame. The tadka is ready. Now add this tadka to the mashed potatoes. Mix it in. And then finally add about 1/3 cup of freshly chopped coriander leaves and mix everything together to make the potato masala. At this point, keep a pot of oil to heat up, and by the time the oil comes to proper frying temperature, start shaping the potato masala into small to medium-sized balls. You can size them based on your preference. I usually get about 18 mid-sized balls from this quantity of masala. And now as you see here, the dough balls are ready and the besan batter has also properly rested. Now just test to see if the oil has come to the proper temperature by putting a little besan batter in it. If it comes up immediately without getting burnt, the oil is at the correct temperature, which it is here. Now for frying the vadas, coat the dough balls in the gram flour besan batter and put them in hot oil one at a time. Here it's best to keep these batches small, frying only a few vadas at a time so as to not overcrowd the pan, which will bring down the temperature of the oil and also make the vadas retain oil, which you don't want. Fry the vadas for about 3 to 4 minutes per batch till the vadas are golden and crispy on the outside. You see how beautifully they've come out here with no excess oil coating them? That's what you want. When all the batata vadas are ready, set them aside, and now it's time to make the dry garlic chutney to go with them. I have a full recipe video sharing how to make this dry garlic chutney, in which I've shared exact quantities and all the tips to make this street style garlic chutney for Vada Pav, but I'll also share a quick overview here. For making this dry garlic chutney, fry the leftover gram flour or besan batter right after you fry the vadas. Then take them out on a plate or a bowl lined with paper towel to get rid of all excess oil, and set them aside to cool completely to room temperature. Take a few garlic cloves and poke holes in them. It's important to poke holes in the garlic cloves so that they don't pop or burst when put in oil. Now place these cloves on a deep frying strainer or skimmer like this one and lower them in hot oil for a few seconds and then take them out. Repeat this for a few times till the garlic cloves are lightly roasted and turn slightly reddish. When done, place these cloves on a plate or a bowl lined with paper towel too to get rid of all the excess oil. When the garlic cloves have cooled down, quickly pulse them in a mixie to crush them. Then add in the fried gram flour besan batter along with Kashmiri chili powder and some salt, and give them all a quick pulse in the mixie to crush them as well as mix everything together. What you're looking for is a dry and crumbly garlic chutney like this, and not a wet paste like chutney. And now finally it's time to fry the green chilies, for which take a few green chilies as needed and make a small slit in them so that they too don't pop or burst in the oil. Then place them on a strainer or a skimmer like this one and lower them in hot oil for a few seconds till they get lightly roasted. Here again, it's best to not put the chilies directly in the oil to avoid them from getting burnt, as you only really need them to be lightly roasted. When done, take them out and place them on a plate or a bowl lined with paper towel to get rid of all the excess oil. And finally, sprinkle a little salt on the chilies when they are still hot from the oil, and done. Now that you have all the elements ready, it's time to assemble the Mumbai street style Vada Pav, for which first get the ladi pav, if it's available where you live. Open it up. And here I have used green chutney too. Some also use a sweet and sour dates and tamarind chutney, but you only really need the dry garlic chutney which we made earlier. Just sprinkle it on the pav, then place the batata vada on it and sprinkle some more of the garlic chutney on it, and finish out by placing the fried green chilli on top of it. And there you have it, a Mumbai street style Vada Pav in the comfort of your own home. I hope you try this recipe too and enjoy. And if you do try it, I'd love to hear how it turned out for you in the comments. For the written and printable version of this recipe, check the link in the description box below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button at the bottom of this video. It really helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't already. Until I see you again, happy cooking!